What's up, guys? Welcome to the Transatlantic Dad Bod Challenge Kickoff. Today's the start. It's week one, first day. We've done our weigh in. What was your weight again, Mr. Adam?
Oh, it's something like 15.4, wasn't it? What was yours? Similar to an orca, wasn't it?
Yeah, very funny there, Jabba. So, well, for us Americans and the Filipinos, and I think even the Canadians, we don't know what a stone is. So we need to
14 pounds.
Yeah, well, that's too much math. You see, that's the problem with the UK is there's just too much math going on. You just make things plain and simple. Don't make
imagine that. Coming from a place where there's an education system.
If you want to call it that, I mean, okay.
The smack talk started a little bit soon there, didn't it?
Yeah, we haven't even introduced ourselves. So I'm Team Daddy Pig Jeff, and over here we have Cameron Grace, aka Adam Ward, for Team Fat Cameron. Yeah, you're
That's
still
it, Team Fat Cameron.
And okay, so for those of you who don't know, why does Adam Cameron? His name's Adam Ward, but he goes by Cameron Grace because that's his nom de plume, his pen name that he writes under. So
play music under.
And play music under. And that's the name he uses when he wants to be discreet at restaurants. So when he's making his reservations, because they're afraid of Adam Ward anymore, don't they? Shut the door. We're closed. We closed.
All those all you can eat buffets, I'm not allowed in them anymore. I have to walk in with a trench coat and those glasses with the fake nose hanging on.
Get that prime rib in the back. Put it in the back.
That's my starter gun.
So here we are. Let's we've had a few posts about what this challenge is about, and so we'll just go over it again real quick, just to bring everybody up to speed, especially since we're just now starting the YouTube channel. Basically, what it is Cameron and I both have developed dad bods over the years, and we want to get in shape. We want to lose weight, so we decided to make it a challenge, and we made it a challenge for charity. And the reasons being twofold, at least, maybe threefold. One is to motivate each other by having the challenge. We're making a bigger commitment by putting it on social media. It kind of cements everything so that we have everybody watching it. It makes it harder to cheat. It makes it harder to let it go after a couple of weeks. Come Saturday, have the large pizza and the fizzy drink, and then feel miserable about ourselves.
That's my favorite breakfast.
And number two, we found it was a great way to raise a little bit of money for charity. So, has your team decided? My team hasn't decided yet on a charity.
Well, actually, I was quite lucky. I think the worst case scenario I was expecting sort of like 5 or 6 people to say different charities, and then I've got to choose between them. But luckily, 2 people mentioned the same charity, which is quite a local one. It's Cransley Hospice, which the musician Marika Vink, who was one of the suggestions, she works there, and an old friend of mine said about there. And what they do is that they offer key medical services on NHS. It's so it's kind of like an NHS related thing. Marika's been a key worker and on the front line during this whole COVID nonsense that we've been having. So with 2 of them saying that, I thought, all right, that makes my life easier. It's democracy at work.
Right.
So that's what I'm going with.
Awesome. I've been leaning towards the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That's a good one.
Yeah, just because that's a major one. So what we'll be doing is setting up donate buttons on our author pages where you can watch the updates and our amazing transformations from these dad bods into looking a little bit more like Matthew McConaughey. On the last week we have to take our shirts off, because that's what you can be like, Matthew McConaughey, and I can be like what's that? Jason Statham. I can be like Jason Statham, huh?
I thought you'd be more Johnny Vegas, if I was honest. But
Oh, well,
we'll go with Jason Statham.
you look like 1978 Elvis. So at any rate, so we'll be setting up the donate buttons so that you can donate directly to the foundation or to the charity. That's less work for us, but it also shows your support for what we're doing here. So there was a few things that we wanted to cover that Cameron came up with. Where did it go?
Otherwise, it'd be just us smack talking for a couple
which
of minutes.
which we've been doing for the past week anyway.
If we carry on with the way we're going, one of us is going to get offended very quickly.
Yeah.
No, we were going to talk about things like, well, how did you feel when you looked at your weight, though?
You know what? I mean, I wasn't surprised. I knew, when I came up, 240. What is it? 248.9. It was actually a little bit lower than I thought it was going to be. I know, not last January. January before that, I was up to like 280 again. Yeah, and that's miserable.
Nice.
That's miserable. Being, when I first came to the Philippines, I was over 300 pounds. Believe it or not. So I had that, and I lived like that for years. And I had basically given up, on ever losing weight. And then I did, and I became a bodybuilder. And I was going to the gym. I felt great. I was going to the gym like every day. I'm biking all the time. And this was when I was 43, 44 years old.
Well, you've got a long memory.
Yeah, believe it or not. But it just starts with that one time I'll skip the gym today, and it just makes it easier to skip it the next day. And then it's raining, so I can't go biking, and then the excuses pile up, and the next thing you know, it just all goes, man. So that's where I was, and I don't know.
So you were quite happy with the result then?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say happy. Well, who could be happy about being obese? But you know what I mean. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was thinking, I weighed myself last week, and it was like 257, and so I had done a little bit of work, but I was really I didn't expect it to be that much, which I'm assuming it was mostly water weight. But yeah, here we go again with the water weight.
I'm going to leave it alone this time.
Yeah. How much damn water can you? 11 pounds of water.
To be fair, I mean, when I looked at my weight, and I was like, it wasn't long ago. It was a few years ago before I actually did my degree. I was doing the same. I think it was after I'd left the relationship. I decided I'm going to go to the gym, and I got myself, I was at the gym 3-4 times a week, doing the cardio, doing the weights. I did enough to be able to run half marathons and things like that, and that's where I came from. And then I ended up doing my degree, and my degree kind of took over, and the gym went back somewhere there, and McDonald's was more and more appealing. And of course, being a muso, the alcohol is like ready available when you're a musician in like pubs here. In fact, it's almost rude not to drink if you're playing in a pub. So the reason why you like my motivations here is I got the scales not long ago, the ones that give me that pretty picture, and I'm in my head I'm thinking, I'm a bit tubby, I'm a bit, I'm a bit tubby. It's dad bod, isn't it? To find that I actually probably have the same amount of body fat as a pork scratching, it was really quite bad for me. And I'm like, look, that's not a bit tubby anymore, is it? That's kind of that's quite large for a land mammal.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And it's like that morning you get up and you put on the pants and they're getting tight, and then the next day they're even tighter. And I mean, I have so many clothes there in the closet. You can't see, but it's over there in the closet. Trust me. And it just they just don't fit. They absolutely don't fit. I had to bring out I brought out my fat pants a couple of weeks ago, and even my fat pants were too tight.
I'm a similar here. I mean, I'm in like 36 jeans or something. I've got 3 pairs of them. I mean, I've got loads of 34s and 32s in what I was. So it's sort of like, and I was in the 36 the other day, and I'm going to blame this on the heat. And because we do, I'm in there in jeans, and I'm throwing a ball with my kids. I bend down to pick up the ball, and I hear the death creak. So that's me. I'm sort of like doing this strange bunny hop all the way around this massive park. I wasn't isolated, and I wasn't near anything where I could quickly change. I'm in a pissing field, with kids throwing balls, and I've got me boxers hanging out because. So down to 2 pairs of jeans. So I'd like to actually get into. I mean, I've got loads and loads of clothes. I'd like to get into them again. I like my old tops. It feels quite embarrassing, sort of like buying an extra large. When it was only a few years ago, I was in medium, and I was filling the medium, but it was, I was in a reasonable size clothes. And now I'm having to buy extra large and just make sure I've got reinforced boxers and things like that.
Well, for me, even when I was thin, I was, because I got the broad shoulders. I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy nonetheless. But right now when I look at shirts, I'm looking at 5X, man. I won't buy them. I refuse. I am not buying any new clothes. I wear the same damn shirts day in, day out, over and over again, and throw them in the wash, the ones that do fit. I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I bought 3 new pairs of jeans right after Christmas, you know what I mean, in January. Really, really nice pair of work jeans to wear to the office, and they don't fit. They don't fit. And I got another nice pair of black jeans that I bought when I first got this job with Telework PH, and I actually wore it to the interview.
Your boss make you say that?
No, but
Plug the company.
I'll make sure they hear about it. Yeah, did you hear that, Marge? I said.
But anyway, sorry I interrupted you. How very un-British of me.
Well, I mean, I hesitate. I hesitate because there's a couple of Brits that live around here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how they're gonna be.
I'm quite far away from the nearest American, I think, so I'm all right.
Yeah.
But,
So basically that's it. That's how I felt about it. It was just like, I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in myself. I'm not happy, but at least I know now where I'm at. My goal is 200 pounds. If I can get down to between 2 to 210 in the next 15 weeks, so that's 30 to 40 pounds. That's the safe 3 pounds a week.
You see that you get down to. I mean, I worked out earlier that I'm at 215. So you get down to that, you're down to where I am. I haven't worked it out exactly in pounds. I think I wanted to go down to 140, 154, 168, because I think that's about 12 stone.
There we
I think
go.
that's kind of where I'm ending. But then you're, 6 foot odd, aren't you? I'm like 5'6", with maybe a tiny bit of change if I'm in stilettos. But so we've got the height difference there anyway. So I suppose you're getting down to the same sort of weight would be unfeasible.
Right, because when they remake The Wizard of Oz, you want to make sure that you're in your best shape for your audition.
Here we go. I'm pretty sure you only went out to the Far East because you thought you could get a job as a sumo wrestler.
There you go. Okay.
Each.
So, but yeah, I mean.
We can't be laughing. That was a crap joke. That was a cheap shot. I'm really sorry, Jeff.
No, that's okay.
I'm better than that.
Yeah, I know. You got better ones than that. My Phil Collins looking friend. So so that's my plan was 200. So where did you want to get down to? What would you say, 14 stone?
No, about 12 stone actually.
Okay,
I think that's about 168 pounds.
168 pounds.
I mean, this is overall. To be fair, if I put my overall target, I wouldn't mind being down to 10 stone, which would be 140 pounds. But that's not going to happen in the next 15 weeks. I don't foresee it happening in the next 15 weeks. Well, depends how we go about it. How are you going to be doing it? What's your plan?
Okay, well, like the first thing I want to do, I mean, and this is, and you know, we said we made the rules for everybody that doesn't know the rules yet. The rules are no starvation. We have to eat at least twice a day. Intermittent fasting is okay. That's fine. Um, you know, no pills, no synthetic crap to like make us sweat it out or caffeine's enough. But yeah, but no like pseudoephedrine or crack or meth or any of that stuff. Um, so I'll leave that alone.
Yeah,
And
well, basically, the idea is that we want to do it safely and healthily.
right,
And in some ways, if people are watching this, they can, we're not that we want to be role models of any description, but if people want to join in with us, at least if
absolutely,
we are sort of like motivating one or two people, we're doing it ethically.
right,
And of course, we've both got kids. The whole point of the Dad Bod Challenge is that we've got kids. We want to give them more of our time, more of our
exactly.
energy, and that's
Yeah.
one of we obviously don't want to put ourselves in a position where what we're doing is massively unhealthy.
Right. I don't want to take it off really fast and in a bad way, and then in 15 weeks just put it right back on. Like you see, I don't know. You've ever heard of the American TV show, The Biggest Loser? Where all the fat people they go on the show, and it's like
Is
a
that a TV
reality.
show?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that a TV? I thought that was your autobiography.
Yeah, I thought, okay. I knew it was coming. I knew something was coming. But
Oh dear.
you
Oh
hear the
dear.
stories. They slim down, they win the prize, and a month later they're back in the hospital trying to get gastric bypass surgery. Um, which is okay for the people that their lives are in danger or whatnot. However, yeah, I mean, I want to get it to where it's sustainable, where it's healthy. I'm already 48 years old. You know what I mean? So it's like exercise is a little bit tricky for me because my joints are. Okay, go ahead. I can see it in your face. You're getting ready
No,
to say something.
I would know. I actually purely wasn't. I was going to do the whole whistle. Yeah.
But
Sort of thing, and just let it go. But
so I mean that's where you have one bit of an advantage is I got 10 years on you. So like
did you hear
jogging.
that, Team Fat Cameron? Can you hear that? The excuses are coming out, and we're on day one.
No, because you
Oh
know
yeah.
jogging
10 years, yeah.
jogging and walking are almost my knee gives out, but I can bike, and so I got the bike, and I got my weights that I made, you know. So I
So
mean,
that's the way you're going with it. So the thing is, I personally wonder if the weights from my side are going to be counterproductive. I'm gonna be trying to up the amount of cardio. Obviously, cardio means for me, I'm gonna go out a fast tiptoe for the first few days and build up, to that sort of thing. But part of me thinks, if I'm gonna put muscle mass on, that's gonna be heavier than fat. But I mean, eventually, I do want to get to that point where I'm just toning up because the other problem I'm thinking I have is if I lose this weight, and I don't do some form of firming up, I'm just going to have this big saggy,
yeah,
like massive bingo wing
yeah,
underneath my shirt, like so. But it's going to be, potentially a lot more just walking until I can get up to jogging and then running and that sort of thing. But the thing is, we've also got other problems getting in our way. We're both smokers.
that's a big thing, and it makes it difficult, in the biking, um, sometimes in the walking for me, more so lately, and more so in the past year. I keep telling people, and I gotta quit. I've tried so many times. I've done everything. Well, actually, I mean, obviously, I haven't done everything. Um, but one of the things I want to do is I need to cut out sugar because you make it.
Oh, I'm losing you.
You there?
Yeah, sorry, you just got a bit glitchy for a minute.
Oh, okay. But I want to cut out sugar. And you hit the nail on the head when you make all those jokes about my chocolate because I am a chocoholic. Everybody knows that's my kryptonite right there. You know what I mean? My kids, they love salty. They like the chips and stuff like me. And I'm all about the sweets, man. I'm all about the chocolate, the candy bars.
See, that's not necessarily my problem. I can give up sweets and I can give up chocolate. I mean, I can give up cheesecake at a push, but it's fatty meats for me. That's kind of micro. There's nothing better than a slab of lamb with the fat on it and the steak and all that sort of thing. That's where I fall down. I'm also not only that. I like my savoury as much as anything. So I'm shoveling down this, which are really good for you. And so a lot of carbohydrates and things which are building up. So it's not necessarily sweet that bothers me.
Right.
So,
Well, see, and the thing is, well, here, I mean, that's where I have one advantage is that I'm predominantly a vegetarian. So, but for me, it's, I live in the Philippines, so everything's about rice, 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 and
baby.
rice has got to be white rice has got to be one of the most unhealthy things you could probably ever load up on. I mean, it's a great alternative, like this much, like a quarter cup, but I mean, it's just empty calories, man. It's just, it's just starch that turns to sugar. So yeah, for
but
me,
weirdly enough, the diet that I'm kind of going to be following, the Slimming World diet, says that's what they would call a free. Rices. I could eat pretty much as much of that as I wanted, which is weird. I know, because obviously the carbohydrate content. I can't have if I can have one brown roll a day, and that's kind of what we call our Hep B. So I can't a white roll. You might as well take up religion. The amount of sins that are in that. But it's weird, the things you can't eat. So rice, I'll fill my boots. Pasta, on you go. Potato, have a baked potato every couple of minutes if you like. But the rolls and the breads and the things like that, it's kind of like, and this is weird. It sounds like it's a stupid thing, but actually I've known this to work in the past for myself. Just sort of, I have lost weight on this before. I do lose weight on this plan, so it kind of does work. Which is which is kind of strange when you think about it. Obviously with the potatoes and the rice as part of that. When I did the Syrian ration challenge last year,
I remember that.
Last year I did the Syrian ration. I don't know that before, but
hey,
wait, going on in Syria.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out. You're getting choppy.
No, have you got me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I don't know if you've heard of the Syrian ration challenge.
I saw your videos.
So yeah, for a week basically, I lived on what they had, rations for a week, which was predominantly rice. There was a bit of flour in there. There was kidney beans, some chickpeas. I'd never seen a chickpea before that day.
Oh man, I eat chickpeas.
There were lentils. There were lentils. I thought, because in school we used to have lentils to do maths with. I didn't realise they were food. But they had all this. In that week, eating mostly rice and beans and a tin, and there was one tin of fish. They all came in this box. I lost 13 pounds in that week.
Yeah, I remember because we weren't talking at that time. We weren't communicating as much because of the different paths that we were taking. But yeah, I mean, I did watch your videos, and I was cheering you on. So I mean, just do that 15 times.
Yeah, So for the next 15 weeks, I'm going to show you every possible feasible dish you can do with rice and kidney beans.
Actually, I'm having white beans tomorrow. I got them soaking right now. I eat a lot of beans. That's where I get my protein. I'm gonna be for breakfast every day. Oatmeal with raisins and bananas, and maybe just like a half a tablespoon of honey. We'll have to tell Chevelle about that. But like, just
how many more shout outs are we going to do?
Well, I didn't say I was going to use Chevelle's honey. But
yeah, that's it.
I can't think of honey without thinking of Chevelle. I just,
yeah,
that's true. Good branding, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just like when people see like blue whales and fat and fat people in it, they'll think of us.
No. Yeah, because it's often we see a blue whale. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen
Oh,
one.
I don't. Are there any left? Blue whales? Oh, I don't know. Well,
I don't
we're
know.
getting a bit deep now.
Maybe you've eaten them off. I mean,
Oh,
you know,
that's bad.
those.
That was a hell of a night at the sushi bar, though. I'll give it that.
What do you think they're serving at those what do you call them, chippies? Those fish and chips?
Can't beat a good old British chippy. Can't beat a good old British chippy. Battered fish, which all taste the same, no matter what type of fish it is.
Well, it's all just white fish. It's all just
Well,
cod.
you want to go north of the border into Scotland, where as well as your battered fish and chips, you can buy battered Mars bars, and on Easter a battered cream egg, battered Snickers. That just sounds so disgusting. But you can deep fried Mars bars.
It does. What in the hell are they doing up there in Scotland? Don't tell me that. I mean, because I like Scotland. I got this romantic idea of Scotland. So don't ruin it for me. I just watched the Mr. Bean where he went into Scotland.
We don't mind the Scottish. It's just they don't really like us. I think that's the whole point of the they created the deep fried Mars bars. Anything to keep the English out.
As well they should. I mean, look, you've seen Braveheart, right?
Right, yeah.
So
is that the one where the Australian plays William Wallace?
There you go. So just think about that. They got
Australia. If only they had an Australian back in those days.
Yeah. So they're like, you screw with us, we got Australia too.
I think I might actually be able to lay claim to Australia in the Team Fat Cameron. I've got family out there, so I think I might just be able to pull them onto my side. All the Aussies, cricket, put another shrimp on the barbie, all that nonsense.
you got to get play that caricature. You know what I'm saying?
Next time you see me, I'm gonna have corks hanging off me hat.
You're gonna have what's that guy's name?
And a crocodile under my arm.
Yeah, what's that guy's name? The Crocodile Dundee guy.
Crocodile, Paul Hogan.
Paul Hogan, yeah, there you go. Yeah. He's gonna show up with that big ass.
They were amazing films. They were amazing films.
He's oh, that's not a knife. Oh, that's a knife. Best scene ever.
Yeah. Well, right. So we've got a week now, until we get who gets the first point. So that's how we're scoring this. We're doing it by week, aren't we? So whoever loses the most this week will score a point on the board, and then we'll do that each week. We're going to do it for the 15 weeks, even when I get to 8-0, Jeff. We'll continue doing the other 7 so that you've got a chance to get one back, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want you to waste away over there. You know what I mean? That English wind blow you off into the Thames. You know what I'm saying?
But just so everyone knows, Team Fat Cameron is where it is at.
Team Fat Cameron has 0 chance because Team Fat Cameron has 0 discipline. 0 discipline.
0. Woohoo! You said 0 discipline.
I did say that.
I mean, you're right, but the thing is, this just hits my. I'm as laid back as I am most of the time. I am also quite competitive, so I'm going to be. I'm pretty sure. You know what British people are like. That we were breastfed sarcasm. I'm pretty sure all my friends are going to be offering me, sweets and tidbits. Go on, have one. Go and have one. Here's a big sweaty pint, and I will actually have to say no, purely because I want to beat your ass.
I'm gonna have, and I'm not gonna sabotage you, but well, yeah, I would. I need to. I'll call Johnny. Johnny's only like an hour train ride away from you.
Right.
Just have him bring you the big box of the chippy, the fish and chips, and the big fat. You like pork or beef? What kind of steaks or both?
Yes. Yes, with ribs. Yes.
How about
chicken? And a chicken.
How about your kids? Have your kids said anything about the challenge?
No, I've briefly mentioned it, but I've got a teenager, so my eldest is a teenager. So basically, I got as an answer back from him, And from my daughter, who's a little bit younger, goes, "That's great, Dad, but can we play princesses?" And that was so. I've had two extreme reactions. Neither of them were supportive or as if they give a crap.
My
But
my son wants to do it too. He wants to do it with me. He says, "Daddy, I
all
want to
right.
lose weight too." I'm like, from where? You know what I mean?
How old is he?
He's 8 or 9. He's 9.
Oh Christ!
And I mean, he's put on a little bit of weight since lockdown, but he's probably what maybe a pound or two, like maybe 1 kilo overweight. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter, she doesn't want me to lose my daddy pig belly. She likes my belly.
Someone does. I mean, that's all that some people can see, though, really, isn't it?
That's all I can see when I'm standing up straight.
Bless you. Well, anyway, it's on.
It's on.
May the best British lightweight win.
Okay, you hold on to that. You hold on to that because I know how the British love their fantasies. You know what I mean? Their fantasies.
Oh yeah.
And they,
Yeah.
you create. That's why whenever you watch Disney or whatever, they always have a British accent. Because it's always a big fantasy. Because it's so gloomy and depressing over there that's all everybody does, sit around and eat. That's why
Do you know what? We could all cheer ourselves up and wear a shirt just like yours.
you know what? I actually wore this
Or
shirt.
tablecloth, whatever that is.
So you would make fun of it, actually. I said, I'm going to wear this because I know he's got to say something about the fat guy in the Hawaiian shirt. You know what I mean?
All right. So I'm going to go and do my 15-mile run. Just as my sign off, everybody get behind Team Fat Cameron. We're doing it for the Cranley Hospice. It's a well-worthy cause. On all the posts I'll put on Facebook, there'll be a donate button. You'll probably find more about it on LinkedIn. I'll post things out on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram. Check the Cameron Grace Writers page on Facebook. And I'm sure Jeff is going to rap the same rubbish at you about himself. But don't listen because it's all about Team Fat Cameron.
I am not. Team Daddy Pig Jeff is the winner. So you want to be on the winning team. Check out my Facebook page. I'll be putting some updates on. Gee, many Christmas, my mind went that way. It's because of the lack of sugar.
You've been thinking about that ice cream, haven't you?
A little bit. We have avocado ice cream. Anyway,
just saw a chocolate cake.
I'll be putting updates on the BizDev Jeff Instagram. You can also catch us on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, we've been kind of bantering back and forth a little bit on LinkedIn under Adam Ward and BizDev Jeff. And of course, the Transatlantic Dad Bod Challenge Facebook page and our new YouTube channel, and I'll be posting the links on the Transatlantic Dad Bod Challenge page for that. Check out my author page, and like I said, I think we're going to go with Make-A-Wish Foundation unless anybody else has another suggestion. I'd love to hear it, and we'll just go from there. We will see you next week with our weigh-ins and find out who the first week's winner is.
Keep a watch on the page. We'll be posting content regularly.
And well, Cameron will be posting a lot of crying and a lot of whining and a lot. It hurts.
Jeff will be mumbling. Jeff will be mumbling because his mouth will be full.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Take care, Jeff. Cheers. Bye.